As for the final game on the NFL Game Day, what a contest in Lambeau Field. Jay Cutler making his Chicago Bear debut. His first half was a forgettable one. First quarter, second possession for Cutler. He is picked by Nick Collins, and that's after the previous two plays, he could have been intercepted on those as well.
Exactly, well. And it's one thing in the secondary. I think arguably this is the best secondary assembled in the NFL. They are certainly ball hawks.
Packers are up 3-0 in the second quarter when Cutler gets things going with his rookie wide receiver, Johnny Knox. What a great name. Even better catch. Ran by Charles Woodson.
Yeah, this guy ran a 4.34 at the combine. Charles Woodson had no idea he was going to be that fast.
68 yards down to the Packer 8. 2 plays later, Cutler to Desmond Clark. Oh, boy.
It seemed like the quarterbacks and receivers just weren't on the same page. They're not in sync yet.
And then, next play, Johnny Jolly, the big man, leaps. I don't know if I can say this is the best one-handed grab by 35.
This is a very athletic play.
He's an athlete.
Reading the play.
It could be the only one-handed interception ever seen by a 350-pound lineman. So that's the way the Bears come in with no points. However, they get points here when Daniel Manning runs down Aaron Rodgers in the end zone. Rodgers was hectored all night long. 3 times he was sacked in the first half. It's 3-2 in this game. Less than 5 minutes to go in the half. Enough time for Cutler to throw his third pick of the half.
Don Capers' news defense at 3-4 kept blitzing Jay Cutler, and he was throwing it up for grabs for much of the night.
But Tramon Williams loses the football towards the end of this play. Lovie Smith challenges it. He thought Williams may have fumbled the ball through the end zone, throws the challenge flag. It was upheld as an interception. No fumble through the end zone. Packers get the ball 1 play later from the 1, and Ryan Grant pops it in, and the Packers lead 10-2 at halftime. The first 10-2 halftime score in the NFL since 1968. Third quarter we go. Cutler got his head on straight in the locker room. What a beautiful throw right there on 3rd and 9 to Earl Bennett for a 21-yard gain. 5 plays later, Cutler hits who else but
my baby
Devin Hester. 36-yard score, and the Bears are down 10-9 just like that. Nice pitch, nice catch, nice play, nice game. It's a 1-point contest. 3rd and 2, 6 and change to go in the third quarter. Next Bears possession, Desmond Clark over the middle, hangs on, led to a Robbie Gould field goal, and the Bears take a 12-10 lead. Fourth quarter we go. That's your score. Bears line it up to punt on their own 26, and suddenly Garrett Wolf, the up man, has the ball, and the Packers are thanking the Bears for doing that.
That was dumb.
I wasn't expecting it. This is like,
what? It appears the long snapper, Patrick Manley, was the one who made that call, and Lovie Smith challenged the play, thinking that perhaps the Packers had too many men on the field. It really wouldn't have mattered anyway had the Packers had too many men on the field. But the bottom line is that the Packers got a field goal out of it, and on the next possession, when the Packers think they've got the Bears off the field, this is called
a bad call.
Illegal contact on Al
terrible
Harris.
Call. Terrible call.
Boy. So the Bears aren't off the field. The Packers defense still on the field, and Jay Cutler and the rest of the offense was having a field day after that. Devin Hester, 24-yard gain down the sideline. 9 plays later, 3rd and goal from the 3. Cutler trying to get in the end zone with Greg Olsen, but it's too high. And the Bears do, however, get the field goal. So the extra set of downs they got thanks to that penalty gives them a 2-point lead. Less than 2 minutes to go in the game. Aaron Rodgers has been looking deep all game long. He doesn't go there. He slides down to the 50. Take another look. As Rodgers is hit by Lance Briggs. They didn't call anything on him. But anyway,
nice.
Next pass is a touchdown to Greg Jennings. 50-yard score.
Wow, great action. Ball fake. Everybody bites, even the secondary.
Cornerback has no reason to bite. It's not like you're going to come in and actually make the tackle.
The Packers go for 2 and convert. It's 21-15 your score. Cutler trying to lead the Bears back down to victory, but Al Harris steps in front of the pass, and it is the 4th and final pick of Cutler's night as the Packers come from behind in a bruising battle, 21-15 to win.
13 yards, but he's very efficient.
Let's go to Chicago. Jay Cutler, 4 picks. I mean, come on, against the Packers. We lost Urlacher. Is it going down to tubes already?
He's doing it again, Mike.
Troy Polamalu also out, the playmaker for the Steelers. On defense, the Steelers came out in their first drive very Nice drive put together. Milwaukee Moore gain of 4 and the 12th play of the drive down there to right on the goal line. Then 4th and goal. Roethlisberger pumps, finds Matt Spaeth in the end zone. 8 of 9, 84 yards. Roethlisberger on that drive. Second quarter, it's still 7-0. Here's Jay Cutler to Kellen Davis. And the Steelers' defense that had been very stingy to that point sees the game tied with 19 seconds to go in the first half. It's tied at 7, third quarter, midway through. Here is Rashard Mendenhall with a 39-yard gain out at the 2. Next play, Roethlisberger calls his own number. That number, in case you're scoring at home, is 7. That's how many points he gets here.
You got to have a big, physical, versatile quarterback to be able to execute that play.
So could Cutler counter? Fourth quarter, less than 10 minutes to go in the game. Cutler throws late over the middle. This time it works to Greg Olsen, who hangs on. He was bashed all day. Also. 5 plays later, Johnny Knox plucks it out of the air, and we're tied at 14. Back come the Steelers. Jeff Reed had already missed the 38-yard field goal wide left. With 3:23 left in the game, another field goal, this one from 43 yards. That's left as well. So 6 points are left on the board, as this one is the other one we're telling you about. And the Bears take over at the 33 with 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the game, still tied. Cutler, first play of that drive, dumps it off to Matt Forte. Here comes James Harrison to strip him, but Olsen on the spot. Robbie Gould's warming up, trying to win this thing. 3 plays later, Cutler on 3rd and 4 to your baby. Devin Hester moves the chains and brings out Robbie Gould with 26 to go from 44 yards away. Gould got it. Good. With 15 seconds to go, and the Bears essentially steal one at home from the world champs.
Chicago Bears traveling to Seattle, looking to get their first victory there since 1976. Matt Hasselbeck with that cracked rib.
That's a pretty jersey. That's a pretty jersey. Pretty.
Senegal Wallace getting his 13th career start. Dumps it off to Julius Jones.
Nice
There he goes. And Jones, 39 yards to the house. Seahawks up 7-0. Seahawks jumped down on top here 13-0, but the Bears come back here. It's Cutler to Matt Forte, but he cannot hold on to the football.
Yeah, that's tough when you turn it over on the 1-yard line. That's a long way to go to turn it over.
All right, Lovie Smith pulls out the red challenge flag. And Lovie was correct. Forte was down before the ball came out, so
good challenge.
The ruling was reversed. 3rd and goal. Forte, stopped at the line. 21 carries, 66 yards on the day for Forte. 4th and goal.
Here we go.
Lovie says, we're going to try to get this. Cutler on the play action, under duress, but Greg Olsen is there.
Wide open. Good reaction by the quarterback. He was under duress. He had to quickly shoot it out there.
All right, 13-7 Bears down. TJ Houshmandzadeh fumble in the 3rd quarter. Here comes Cutler, who's developing quite the rapport with Johnny Knox. Nice move there.
Guy, 4.3 in the combine, Brian. 4.3. Is that as fast as you were?
No, I ran a 4.2 for breakfast.
The rookie from Abilene Christian. Bears up 14-13. Cutler stripped by Aaron Curry. Corey Redding is there. It led to an Olindo Mare 37-yard field goal. So the Seahawks back on top, 19-17. Bears come right back, though. Cutler to Devin Hester.
My baby! My baby!
The speed, 36 yards. What we got here, Brian?
I don't know. It's a new dance. I gotta ask these young boys what they're doing in their zone now.
Dance.
Bears go for 2, and they get it up 25-19. Julius Jones now with a $1.25 left. He's been balling so far this year. He's been doing his thing. 98 yards. He also had a receiving TD. All right, 4 plays later, though, 52 seconds left, 4th and 1. Jim Moore going for it. It's Wallace on the play action to John Owens.
It wasn't even meant for him.
That's a huge conversion.
Does best.
Guess what? He's got another decision, coach. 4th and 2. But this time,
be patient.
Julius Jones is unable to squeeze it.
Jay Cutler and the Bears taking on Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Could they possibly win 2 in a row? Mm-hmm. Well, they came off the blocks very well. Matthew Stafford throws deep to Calvin Johnson. There's the first play of the game.
You need a 1.
Kevin Smith would eventually run it in from the 1. And the Lions are on top in Chicago, 7-0.
Good, Rich.
Matt Forte getting things going early in a way that he hadn't gotten anything going all year. 61-yard game.
They need a running game from this guy. You have two explosive receivers. You need a running game.
3 plays later, it's 3rd and goal. Jay Cutler breaks contain, and then he breaks the laws of gravity. And the play.
Great effort.
Was that Elway?
Huh?
This one's for Jay.
Nice. Look at that. Great effort. That's for Jay, huh, Rich? That one's for Jay.
Right there. Touchdown. The Bears' first quarter points of the season tie the game. But you can't keep Matthew Stafford and this Detroit Lions offense down for long. Will Heller wraps up a 10-play drive. The Lions go back on top 14-7. 2 Bears possessions later. Earl Bennett leaping, grabbing. Down to the 10-yard line. 2 plays later, Cutler to a wide-open Kellen Davis.
Nice design by the play. I like the way both teams are approaching this thing. They're wide open on both
Next
sides.
Bears possession, it's a short field as Tommy Harris came up with his first career interception. And on 4th and goal, Lovey goes for it, and Greg Olsen catches it as they throw for it on 4th and 1 from the 1. 2 possessions later, Calvin Johnson making plays again.
You know he's going to get the ball, but constantly he stays open.
2 plays later, Stafford, 2 and change to go in the half. Can't find anybody, so he runs for it, 17 yards.
Last week, running for first downs all over the place.
Next play, 6th play of this drive, trying to get some points on the board before halftime. Brandon Pettigrew on the tight end screen.
Great play call. Great execution of blocking downfield. Look at the big guys get downfield and get ahead and block.
And then 4 plays later, capping off the 10-play drive as a guy was questionable all week, and he scores his 2nd touchdown of the game. Kevin Smith ties the game at 21. 10 plays, 98 yards. That's what the Lions do to close out the half. But the second half's a different half.
It's not a boo-boo.
And a different story. Johnny Knox. 102-yard return, 1 yard shy of the Bears' all-time kick return record set by Sayers.
Go Sayers. You mean to tell me Devin Hassel's never run a ball over 100 yards?
Way before your baby.
That's where he gets hurt.
Now, this is a problem for the Lions, who are trying to come back. Matthew Stafford left the game with a knee injury. It is said that his knee dislocated briefly and then popped back in. An MRI will detail the severity on Monday. And then Matt Forte with the Forte Burger. Touchdown as the Bears double up the Lions. They're 3-1. The Chicago Bears in Atlanta. The Bears coming off of a bye, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Jay Cutler got the Bears right down the field. 6 of 7 for 38 yards in the drive. Again, the drive comes to a screeching halt. Thomas DeCou picks off Cutler.
Terrific drive, and it's disheartening to throw an interception in the red zone.
So no points for the Bears in the red zone. 2nd quarter, 2 possessions later, Cutler just outside of the red zone. I guess that's what they have to do. Johnny Knox.
Great catch.
Great
route
ball.
by Knox.
Up over the top. He dropped it in there. All he has to have is possession and 2 feet in. Let's take a look. This is close.
He had 5. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, 4.5.
Give it to him.
It still works.
Give him a touchdown.
Mike Smith did not challenge. A good no challenge there. 7-0 Bears. Next possession, it's Thomas DeCou bagging Cutler again.
Overthrowing Greg Olsen now. 2 picks for DeCou.
And the Atlanta Falcons trying to turn this pick into points. And 3 plays later, they do just that with their big play man from last week, Roddy White. 210 yards against San Francisco last week. 40 yards on this screen.
I love this screen. They got 2 blockers against 2 defenders. Really, they had them outnumbered.
3-on-2.
It ties the game at 7. Next Falcons possession, Ryan and Michael Turner.
Nice hot against the blitz. Well done by the young quarterback.
They went a lot of no huddle towards the end of the half. And on 3rd and goal, last chance to get a touchdown before the half, and they do.
He runs all routes, Coach. He runs all routes, inside, outside, and he's a blocker as well.
Tony Gonzalez slam dunks it. Ryan 7 of 7 for 57 yards in the drive. 3rd quarter, Bears have the ball. 2nd and goal. Matt Forte fumbles it, but the Bears recover. Forte had only 1 lost fumble in his career coming into the game, and on the next play afterwards, he loses this fumble.
Never done that before. 2 fumbles in a row.
Coy Wire recovers the fumble, and the Bears inside the 5 get no points. Now, 2 red zone possessions we've seen with 0 points. That would come back to haunt them. Matt Ryan tip drill is picked by Nathan Vasher. Danielle Manning recovers the fumble with less than 10 minutes to go. The Bears turn the Falcons away and try to turn this turnover into points. First play after the pick. Cutler picks him up and puts him down.
He can do this now. He's dangerous running with the ball. He's dangerous throwing off balance and throwing from the run.
30-yard gain for Cutler. 3 plays later, 3rd and 8 from his 40. Cutler, 8 minutes and change to go. Throwing up for Johnny Knox. Bringing down flags.
Face guard, you got to turn around and find the ball and either compete for the ball.
And Chris Houston didn't either. 1st and 10 for the Bears from the Falcons. 37, 5 plays later, 3rd and goal. This time the Bears do get points inside the 5-yard line. Greg Olsen ties the game at 14, but the ensuing Falcons kickoff return, a nice one. 62 yards for Eric Weems, putting him on the plus side of the field just like that. 3rd and 6, Ryan to Gonzalez.
Makes a tough catch.
Moves the chain, 16-yard gain. 4 plays later, 2nd and goal for the Bears. 5. It's Michael Turner running downhill.
This is what he did all of last year. He's getting on track. Last couple of weeks, he's been dynamite.
Falcons back on top by a touchdown. Bears leading points. Cutler takes off the hat, puts on a helmet. Minute 12 left in the game, 3rd and long. More flags, more face guarding, more first downs for the Bears.
Cover 2, linebacker must cover the seam, and he's face guarding once again.
1st and 10, fresh set of downs at the Falcons 14. 3 plays later, backed up at 3rd and 25. Cutler gets almost all of it. Earl Bennett down to the 5-yard line. It's now 4th and 1 from the 5. And guess what? Future Hall of Famer moves.
No, he didn't.
Orlando Pace called for a false start.
All right, we still have a chance. 4th and 6.
Far less manageable. 4th and 6. 34 ticks to go. Cutler for Desmond Clark. Incomplete. And the Falcons hold on. They're 4-1. The Bears drop to 3-2. The Falcons needed that defense in the red zone. Cedric Benson, it's not easy to call this a just pure revenge game because the reason why the Bears released him has a lot to do with what Cedric Benson did off the field.
Right.
Well, he was in Chicago, but on the field, he didn't do this in Chicago either.
No.
But he's doing it this year better than anybody.
A 23-yard run on the opening drive for the Bengals that's capped off by a Chris Henry 9-yard touchdown catch.
That's the way to uncover when you receive it towards the back of the end zone.
7-0 Bengals on top. Next possession. This is Cedric the Entertainer now.
Yeah, he's shown speed. He's shown power.
He's
running
everything. For money.
18 yards. 3 plays later.
He deserved a contract, big fella.
Palmer hits the new executive editor of OCNN, Chad Ochocinco.
Ocho's focused this year, man.
4 plays later, Palmer
nice
to
corner route, Moochie.
Nice double
Ocho.
move. That was easy. This combination is deadly. Palmer with 5 touchdowns today.
Second quarter, the famed Palmer to J.P. Fashi connection rears its head. 21-0. Egadler. It gets worse. Next possession, Cutler to Devin Hester. He fumbles.
Oh, my baby.
Dhani Jones recovers.
Way to fight, Devin.
And then the Bengals, 12 plays later, turn it into points. I mean, Lavernius coach, what was going on? It was an orange avalanche.
That's a shutdown.
Scoring on every possession.
In the first half, 5 of them. 31-3 at the half. Third quarter, Palmer to Ocho again.
That's a shutdown.
Palmer missed on only 4 passes and threw 5 touchdowns. Next possession, Jay Cutler after his 3rd interception. Here's Cedric Benson downhill. 26 yards to the Bears 1.
Pay the man.
And then he caps it off with a touchdown. A career-high 189 yards
second
in
chance. I love kids get second chances and do it well.
Against the Chicago Bears. 45-10 is the final. And it's not just one of the best games you've seen by a running back against his former team. It's the best game ever handed in since 1950 by a running back against his former team. 189 yards, and Benson leads the league in rushing after 7 weeks. It was 10 years ago Sunday that Ray Sweetness passed away. And Chicago Bears remembered Walter Payton before their game with his family at Soldier Field. Before taking on the Cleveland Browns, who had another troublesome day.
Great pick.
Daniel Manning intercepts Derek Anderson. Led to a Robbie Gold field goal, up 6-0. Jamal Lewis had another rough day, too. So the whole Cleveland Browns offense, they've only 5 offensive touchdowns in the last 14 games. Leon, after the game, Jamal Lewis says he's going to retire at the end of the year.
You know, I talked to him afterwards, and I told him, don't make a long-term decision based on emotions. Just get, sleep on it and
What did he say?
See how you feel overnight. He said he would surely consider that.
9-0, the Bears are up when Matt Forte gets a sight from sore Bear eyes. That's a touchdown, a rushing one. 16-0, third quarter, Derek Anderson runs it in. There's an offensive touchdown for the Browns, but the extra point gets blocked. So even that doesn't go well. 2 possessions later, Anderson hits Steve Hyden. Hunter Hillenmeyer hits Hyden too, and Daniel Manning takes the ball.
Nice strip.
And that would lead to another Matt Forte rushing touchdown. So the Bears in their Halloween weekend pumpkin unis getting things done. The fourth quarter, Jay Cutler, for 4th and goal, tries to get in the end zone. And it's batted away by Cameron Windley.
Catch the ball.
And Rob Ryan doesn't like that they're trying to pile it on, or I don't know what's going on there. What was that all about? But there's pleasantries exchanged there. It's a rough season for the Cleveland Browns who fall to 1-3. The Bears snap their 2-game losing streak. This show is what you thought it is.
It is. I don't know about
highlights program with the Bears and the Cardinals. Inactive.
That's a man.
Inactive, deactivated. More on that in a moment because of an ankle injury. We want to start off this highlight with the 4th play of the game. It's not just the Tim Hightower 13-yard rush, but it's Tommy Harris on top of Deuce Latui.
Oh, geez. That's 50 grand.
Throwing a punch in front of the lawyer, Ed Hockley.
That's at least
15
50
yards.
grand.
Ed doesn't miss that.
And the gate.
He getting fined, big fella.
See ya.
Ejected.
Send me that money.
4 plays later, Kurt Warner to Larry Fitzgerald.
They caught him in man. The man got a little pick. Nice play.
Touchdown. 7-0 Arizona. Bears next possession. Jay Cutler trying to respond, and he does so with
my baby,
Devin Hester.
Against my baby.
He was questionable like Bolden as well this week, but Hester played, Bolden did not again. More on how Anquan found out about his deactivation.
Great coverage by Cromartie.
Great throw, great catch. That was beautiful.
Let's continue with this highlight. Greg Olsen had a day, a 3-touchdown day. This one tied the game midway through the first quarter. 33 yards. Cutler 5 of 6, 90 yards on the drive. Looks like we've got ourselves a ball game in Chicago, but Kurt Warner got the ball back and found Larry Fitzgerald again.
Great hand.
He would find Fitzgerald 9 times on the day.
Maybe the best hands in the league.
Wow. Nice grab. 8 plays later, 3rd and 5. It's that Warner to Ben Patrick combination you
like
look
the way
out
he
for.
reset his feet and brought his eyes, found him in the back of the end zone to Patrick. That was excellent by Kurt Warner.
2 touchdowns for Warner. After a Bears punt, 6th play of the drive, make that 3 touchdowns for Warner.
Nice corner route, Coach.
As Fitzgerald waves the ball over the pylon.
Yeah, we call that a Colorado.
Great route.
21-7. Bears punt again. 9 plays after the punt. Plus side of the field again. Steve Reston's got the ball coming around.
Good run.
25 yards for a first down. He's the all-time leader in returns in Big Ten history.
Is that a Michigan guy?
Defense.
We got to talk positively somehow about the Mason Blue. Next play, Anthony Beck. That's 4 touchdowns for Warner. He had 5 interceptions last week, 4 touchdowns in the game to this point. 28-7, Arizona going away at half. It was such a blowout that Ken Whisenhunt took Warner out of the game in the 4th quarter and put Matt Leinart in.
Why not?
Well, this is why not.
Well, this is why.
Interception.
Go make a tackle.
Zach Bowman returns it to the 28. Bears are loving. Leinart's bumming. He was the quarterback in that game when the Bears came back in the Cardinals in the famed Crownham game.
He was trying to help him this time.
So he's now watching Jay Cutler find Greg Olsen for a 3rd time. I told you there's 3 touchdowns. Here's another one of them. It's 34-21.
Nice concentration by Olsen.
Bears are now 2 touchdowns away from taking the lead. So Ken Whisenhunt wound up putting Kurt Warner back in. But before he did that, Jay Cutler threw a pick to Matt Ware. And Warner threw a 5th touchdown pass on the day. The Cardinals pop a 40-burger on Chicago. They are now 5-3. The Bears fall to 4-4. The Chicago Sun-Times having some fun at Tommy Harris's expense. Punching bags, they term the Chicago Bears.
That's a good one.
The Bears fall to 4-4. Now, as for Anquan Bolden, he had an ankle injury, he was questionable. He seemed good. We had video of him running around pretty nicely on the NFL Game Day morning. So this is how he found out about his deactivation. Give a listen.
Only thing I can say was, when I came in here, my stuff was in the locker. I went out, warmed up, felt great, came back in, everything's gone.
That's how did they ever explain it to you?
No, nobody was man enough to come to me and tell me what was the situation. So, I'd have probably felt better if somebody would have been man enough and walked up to me and told me what the situation was. But I had to walk back in the locker room and find all of my stuff gone.
My biggest concern was the field, the condition of the field. It was just thick, it was loose, the footing on it wasn't great. We'd seen on a number of games before guys slipping and falling. I was afraid he could easily turn his ankle on that field trying to come out of a break, and that was really what it was about.
Welcome to the Kay Jewelers post-game show inside the NFL Network studios, along with Steve Mariucci and Deion Sanders and Marshall Falk. I am Rich Eisen for the Kay Jewelers post-game show, in which Cutler is spelled with a backwards K because he was caught looking all night long. Wally Agunlie going right up to Vernon Davis before the game. Vernon Davis calling out the defensive line. With the exception of Agunlie, and they were taking exception with one another. Jay Cutler had the Bears in the red zone, and he threw a pick just 5 minutes into the game. Picked off by Terrell Brown.
Of all the picks, this is the one that it's hard to understand who he's throwing the ball to and why.
So instead of getting 3 at the very least, Jay Cutler's left scratching his head. The Bears get none. 2 minutes to go in the half. Cutler throwing this one in the air, and this one is picked off. Devin Hester fell down.
Yeah, he slips on the route. Good comeback route. Devin trying to come out of his break, loses his footing, and that's not Cutler's fault.
Outside the numbers in Candlestick is very damp. It's very slippery out there in night games. It always has been.
So that bagged Cutler right there, and it led to Frank Gore, the inconvenient truth, bursting through on the first snap after the interception. The first points of the game just before the 2-minute warning, and the Bears added 3 points before halftime at 7-3 San Francisco. First possession of the Bears in the second half, different half, same story. Cutler picked off by Deshaun Goldston.
Yeah, he was anticipating Devin Hester running past the umpire, but he hooked up, and it was a miscommunication between receiver and quarterback on running or sitting.
Third 3-pick game of the season. Eventually, it set up the Niners on 4th and 1. They decided to go for it with a sneak, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't understand that, especially when you have Frank Gore in the backfield. You got to utilize him as much as possible.
A turnover on downs, and Mike Singletary let his offensive line have it.
And that's what you have to do. Anytime you run a sneak, you have 4th and 1. If you don't get it, most often your offensive line lost.
Led to a Bears field goal, so it's a 7-6 game now in the fourth quarter. Plus side of the field for Jay Cutler. Gets the bad snap, and he should have just left it on the ground. Mark Roman picks off Jay Cutler. A 4-pick game for Jay Cutler, his second 4-pick game of the year. Both of them on national television. The other one came in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers. 3 plays later for the 49ers, 3rd and 5. As Cutler is left screaming for a flag. He didn't get one. And Frank Gore with some direct snappage, and he's off to the races.
This is their version of the Wildcat, and it worked very well. Tillman pops it up from behind. Good play, but that's good hustle by the 49ers.
Josh Morgan is the one with the hustle to recover the ball. The Bears, however, the defense kept the Niners out of the end zone, had to settle for just a field goal. So even with the 4 interceptions, the Bears were still in this football game, 10-6. Here is Mike Singletary calling out his offensive line with 8 minutes to go, saying, hey, let's pick up some first downs and end this game. Take some air out of the ball, some time off the clock, and Frank Gore gets 23 yards to the San Francisco 40. 5 plays later, less than 4 minutes to go now. 3rd and 3 from the 42. Michael Robinson takes the flip pass and just finally corrals it to pick up the first down.
Yeah, this is called a 4-minute drill. They're trying to take time off the clock, move the sticks, and keep Jay Cutler off the field.
Nice grab by Michael Robinson.
That was a great grab right there. One thing he could have probably did was stay in bounds. That would have really helped him out right there.
3 plays later, it's 3rd and 8. Alex Smith scrambles. And now the Niners are forced to punt, but they did take 6 minutes off the clock. 2:31 left in the game for Lovie Smith. It's 4th and 10 from their own 20, so it's last chance saloon with only 1 timeout left. Jay Cutler Buying time, throws for Greg Olsen. It's incomplete, but there's laundry on the field as there was throughout this game.
You like this call, huh?
Horrible call. I can't even believe they could make this type of call.
Beyond 5 yards. It's illegal contact.
This time of the game.
Drive stays alive. A minute 34 to go, 3rd and 10. Lots of flags again. Matt Forte. Flag was on San Francisco, 20 yards and a first down, 33 seconds to go. On the San Francisco 31, Johnny Knox moves the chains. Down to the 22, 17 seconds to go. Cutler to Devin Aromashadu. Who knew they had 2 Devins on this team? 2 plays later, 8 ticks to go. 2 cracks from the 12. Cutler had one last pick left in him. Michael Lewis intercepts Jay Cutler. First 5 interception day in the history of Jay Cutler's professional career. And you can see as soon as he let it go, he knew he shouldn't have. And that is the way the San Francisco 49ers hold on for Mike Singletary, who beats his former team to snap a 4-game losing streak to improve to 4-5. They now have a whole bunch of time before visiting Green Bay. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bears are licking their wounds. They were once upon a time 3-1. They are now 4-5. Way back in the playoff picture. They're 4-5 right now, with Green Bay at 4-4 hosting the Dallas Cowboys. The Minnesota Vikings, for the lack of a better phrase, sitting at home and laughing right now with a 3-game lead over Green Bay, who they've already swept. Wackiness, a lot of wildness, a lot of craziness. Let's start in Soldier Field for the Sunday night finale.
Yeah.
Well, 5 was the operative number. 5 McNabb, 5 picks for
I know
Cutler.
about him.
And then number 7, Michael Vick, direct snap on 3rd and short.
They heard our show. We've been explaining to them 3rd and short. You got a goal mine sitting on the bench by the name of Michael Vick. It's automatic.
34-yard gain on 3rd and 1 led to an Eagles field goal. They're up 3-0. Later on in the first quarter, McNabb to Brent Selleck, 21-yard gain.
This play against the blitz, they picked it up. He shot it in there for a completion.
5 plays later, McNabb to Jason Avant, who had a great game last week. Here he scores the first touchdown of the night.
Wide receiver screen, very well executed.
10-0 Philadelphia. Next Bears possession, trying to get in the mix. Jay Cutler on the plus side of the field has a wide open Greg Olsen and.
You cannot miss those opportunities.
That's a layup. You got to have it.
Next play, 3rd and short. Has a wide open Devin Hester.
It's a layup. You got to have it.
Bears settle for a field goal. They settled for 3 field goals in the first half. It's 10-9 at the half. It's 12-10 Chicago with 4 field goals. McNabb to Deshaun Jackson up top. Big play, big-time receiver, touchdown. Eagles lead 17-12.
Cover 2, 1-on-1 with a safety. I like that matchup all day. Deshaun Jackson.
I like the air he put under the ball. Look at it. He dropped it over the top of the defender. Beautiful trajectory.
Next, Bears possess. Oh, and the finger roll. This is like Karl Malone.
Hand behind the head.
Like Karl Malone. 1st and 10, 5 minutes and change in the 3rd quarter. Cutler to Devin Hester makes a move. 16-yard gain to the Eagles, 39. 5 plays later. From the Eagles 15, they're in the red zone. That's been Cutler's bugaboo for a year and a half. This time, a perfect throw to Kellen Davis.
See that off balance against pressure. Dropped it over the top. Well done.
The chart said go for 2. They went for 2. They got 2. It's a 20-17 3-point lead for Chicago. That's your score in the 4th quarter. LaShawn McCoy. Nice run. Poor finish. Fumbles the football. He's stripped by Charles Tillman, who had 3 strips on the night. Hunter Hillemeyer with the recovery, and the Bears are in business. Bringing on Robbie Gould again. They had to settle for another field goal. Gould looking for his 5th field goal of the night. This one is...
Oh, jeez.
Antonio
Peter.
What does that mean?
That means get away from it.
Why
Nobody's
does it
named
have to be Peter.
Nobody's named Peter in the National Football League.
That's a big meatball sort of chest bump right there. Eagles get the ball back. 7 plays later, McNabb to Jeremy Maclin moves the chains on 2nd and 5. 3 plays later, 3rd and 6. McNabb right to Deshaun Jackson down at the 10-yard line, 1st down.
Huge play. Look at the release inside against blitz. He shot it in there on the body. Nice location.
Very next play, Lovey watched the rookie atone. Nice move.
Nice blocking.
24-20 Eagles take the lead again. as Cutler and Knox are on the sideline trying to draw up a play that has to be as nice as this one. Look at him follow the block.
Takes the wrong gap. You got to stay in your gap.
Selleck seals the corner right there. And McCoy gets a little chest bump. There they are, diagramming the play.
You do this, you do that, and I'll do this.
So Cutler drew this up to Johnny Knox, perhaps, and he had him wide open.
Fastest guy in the field right there, the rookie from Abilene Christian, Johnny Knox, just overthrew him.
How do you miss Devin Hester?
How do you get wide open in that situation? 3rd and 4, the Eagles trying to get a first down to wrap it up. They cannot. Tommy Harris forces the Eagles to punt the ball back. Cutler without any timeouts has a chance to drive him down the field. 3rd and 1, can't convert to Devin Hester. Last chance, Cutler from his own 30 to Johnny Knox.
Nice body.
Converts it. First down. 2 plays later, Cutler looking his right again. Tipped up in the air and picked by Sean Jones. It's Tracy White getting the paw in there.
Full-figured woman is singing.
And that is indeed the case. A full-figured woman is screaming. I like that.
Yes.
It's singing for the Chicago Bears as Donovan McNabb goes into his native Chicago and comes up with a big-time win.
Don't worry about it, Jay.
5 is now 6-4, as 6 is now 4-6 in his first campaign as the Bears quarterback savior. Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And that's not baseball. That's the guy.
Definitely one.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy. This is the guy who's 40 years old and wasn't in training camp. He's on his tractor and he's playing as well as he's ever played. Ever played.
I think he likes it with no wind and no rain and no snow and in a dome. He's getting very comfortable.
And he's spreading it around. One to Sidney Rice, one to Bernard Berrien, this one to Percy Harvin.
His
first 100.
Give Percy Harvin the offensive rookie MVP, please.
Dynamite.
And it was the first player with 500 career touchdowns on that touchdown pass right there. Bears' next possession, though, Jay Cutler making some plays, finds Greg Olsen for 9 yards. This is the Bears' first game with the Vikings this year, and if the Bears had any attempt to make some hay, they need to win this game. And that was a nice pass by Cutler to Johnny Knox.
Yeah, he dropped it over the top to the rookie from Abilene Christian. That was well done.
Vikings' next possession, Percy Harvin on the handoff.
Seen this at the University of Florida.
He played as much running back down there as he did receiver. He can do it all.
7 plays later, with Adrian Peterson having fumbled it a couple times. Chester Taylor, we saw him a little bit more.
Nice swap. And Chester's a free agent at the end of the season. This is a good back, running the ball as well as catching the ball and blocking out of the backfield.
Vikings up 14-7. Next possession, the Bears, Cutler tries to go for Johnny Knox again. This time, Cedric Griffin picks him off. Look who's here, watching the game. Man who cleansed Apollonia in the waters of Lake Minnetonka
Prince!
years ago.
You know what? I was reprimanded by my wife. She told me to make sure. Yeah, she loves Prince. Yeah, not me.
Mrs. P's upset with you?
Yes.
Look who picks it off.
That rhinestone cowboy.
Jared Allen picks off Cutler's pass, but that's an illegal forward pass. Didn't matter because Favre moved the team right down the field and found a wide open Visante Shanko.
This guy just has touchdown. All he does is score touchdown. Visante Shanko.
I mean, he's open all the time.
He's always open in the end zone.
Third quarter, the opening kickoff of the second half.
We only show you this for 1 or 2 reasons. He can fly.
Johnny Knox.
Or somebody push him out of bounds.
Eventually, he is pushed out of bounds. Turns it 77 yards, but that's when the defensive line of the Vikings asserted itself in the red zone 2 plays later.
Watch that cowboy up
And
top.
they can do this with a 4-man rush. Now, they don't need to bring pressure very often. This front four can do it.
Kevin Williams gets him. And
Watch
then the
that
next
cowboy
play,
up top.
The other Williams gets him. That'd be Pat Williams, but obviously you said
that number, something about that number 69 is unbelievable.
So the Bears have to settle for a field goal, and that's just not going to work out when the Vikings are scoring 30-10. They're up. Jared Allen gets himself some coverage.
There goes that number.
He had 2 more.
I love that guy.
He stirs it up.
That's
Next
cowboy.
Vikings possession, Adrian Peterson does get into the act. 36-10. And Brett Favre, another great day. 8 yards shy of 400 yards. Prince. Does he love it? Does he? I mean,
He knows about it. He may not know anything about football, but he knows about the cheerleading. I guarantee you that.
I mean, this is a guy who led the league in interceptions last year with 22.
Did?
He has more interceptions than anyone else in league history. 24 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, the best touchdown-interception ratio in a single season in NFL history with someone with over 20 touchdowns. Now, Vic Carucci, after the game, went up, not to Brett Favre, I don't know he had it in him. He went to Jared. Yeah. I don't know if Vic had that in him. He went to Jared.
Yeah, you know, Brett's playing lights out, and when you get up on guys by multiple scores, I mean, it makes playing defense easy because, you know, you're forcing them, they have to get points, they have to get points in a hurry, and so you force them to drop back, and, you know, we were rushing great all day today. I think we were getting sacks across the board, and, you know, it was just another great team win.
At 10-1, is the statement made that you guys are as good as, if not the best team in the NFC? Talking, of course, about New Orleans as the unbeaten team.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we don't get to play on New Orleans to figure that out, but, you know, honestly, we're just thinking about Arizona now. We'll enjoy this. I believe that's where we're heading next. We're heading down to Arizona. But, you know, I think it's too early to tell. I mean, you take a look at the Broncos. They were 6-0. They were the next greatest thing. They went on a 4-game slide. So, you know, as cliched as it is, we really are just trying to focus one game at a time around here.
Do we have to?
Yes, it's the Bears and the Rams.
Because we're contractually obligated.
Come now. Especially when this features your baby. Devin jumping up for the ball.
Way to go at that at his highest point. What?
We'll even give you a replay,
Well, give it to me. Go up. Yeah.
48-yard grab. Set up Matt Forte, who made somebody miss. Somebody miss. I only say that because, you know,
Urlacher
said something about that.
He's a captain. He's supposed to.
And Jay Cutler.
That's Bennett. Sit down in there.
That's your Vanderbilt buddy.
He did not throw an interception. Cutler.
Give him time.
Kyle Bowler, however, did in the final throws of this game. Rams fall to 1-11. Bears snap a 4-game losing streak.
That's all, David.
Now, I know Jay Cutler and the Bears haven't done too well this year, but if they could just beat the Packers once in Chicago, that would be lip-smacking good, wouldn't it, Mooch?
I like when you do that, Rich. Have they ever played before?
Fortunately for the Bears, first play of scrimmage for the Packers. Soldier Field is turned into Grant Park.
That is Bears yard
defense. They can't even touch a guy.
62 yards. Ryan Grant right to the end zone. One play, one touchdown. 10-0 the Packers on top. Cutler looks for Johnny Knox, but there's Charles Woodson.
Defensive player of the year.
How many times can you say that in one show?
You got two cornerbacks. There can only be one. We got two cornerbacks are pretty good.
2 possessions later for the Bears. It's 13-0. 3rd and 12 when Johnny Knox makes a play.
Great rookie from Abilene Christian.
5th receiving touchdown of his rookie season. How about that? Packers next possession. Rodgers to Jermichael Finley right before the half. Fumbles it. So instead of the Packers tacking on some more points before the half, it's just a 6-point lead in a game that the Packers were essentially dominating. And even though Rodgers has had a super season, I mean, he's really super. On 3rd down especially, he sometimes has one of these in him every game, where he loses the ball, and instead of just taking his lumps,
he tried to throw it again.
He tried to throw it again.
Just like a reception
now you caught
and an interception all in the same play.
And it's a big man with football. Anthony Adams with his first career pick. And then 5 plays later, Jay Cutler goes back shoulder to Johnny Knox on Charles Woodson. And this one you think maybe Cutler throwing it towards Woodson is playing with fire.
That base stop is tough to cover, Coach.
The next play, they go back shoulder on Woodson with Devin Aromashadu.
That's tough.
How about that?
That's amazing with those young receivers.
Nice play by Aromashadu, and we show it one more time so I can say one more time the word Aromashadu.
Aromashadu, can you spell it?
Yeah, because I've got the paperwork right here in front of me, bro. 14-13, Cutler, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Nick Collins with the easy pick of Jay Cutler's 22nd interception of his maiden Chicago voyage. 2 plays later, here comes Ryan Grant running downhill again. Packers are up 24-14 after the 2-pointer mooch, and now just Cutler trying to make a play later on in this game, trying to salvage something in this season. All right, I'll stop. 4th and 9, it's Woodson almost with another pick of Cutler. And the Packers are 9-4 in the 5th spot in the NFC playoff picture now. They're at the Steelers next, out of conference. Then they're home for the Seahawks, and then at the Cardinals to finish the season, where they could then start the 2nd season the next week. Well, speaking of that Baltimore-Chicago game, kudos to the Ravens crew as well.
You can leave me home.
2 feet of snow.
Weather like that, leave me home.
And Cutler is just Cutler had a very difficult year.
He's in a slump.
Slump.
I mean, it's been a brutal
slump.
first campaign for him as the Chicago Bears quarterback.
No, a slump is when you foul one off every now and then.
Well, that pick by Dominic Foxworth led to this Todd Heap touchdown. The Ravens take an early 7-0 lead, and then Cutler with a red zone pick that's been his bugaboo all year long. That's a Jared Johnson tip to himself for the interception. Cutler's quarterback rating was 7.9, and this is Ray Rice running for the Raiders.
Where's he from?
Rutgers. Because 4 plays later, there's that.
Everybody's open.
14-0. Ravens are up. And just when you thought this game was essentially over, the Bears got a punt return from Will Bennett.
Right.
Just a one-score game. In the third quarter, here's Flacco play faking to Demetrius Williams.
Man, that defense, you could pick them up on the curve.
Go up and make a play.
And then after a Johnny Knox fumble, the Ravens setting up shop in the red zone. And Derek Mason, what a nice twist and grab for the score. Leaned over the pylon there. Flacco with 4 touchdowns. That's a...
Michael Jackson, watch out. Oh, just beat it.
This is a dangerous team, this Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, they, if you will, control their own destiny. They are now the 5 seed in the AFC. They finish up on the road, though, and those are not gimmies. We all know that you throw the records out in division, and the Steelers are going to need that, too, at 7-7. And as the Raiders proved...
Raiders will have the U-Hauls out that week.
I don't know.
They look good today.
Cutler going up top to Aroma Shadu for the game-winning touchdown of 40-plus yards. But let's take you there for the highlights here. Brad Childress and Brett Favre all week. The talk was about their chilly conversation on the sidelines a week ago. And the Bears came out on fire.
Tommy Harris, who's struggled with injuries all year long, comes out ready to go and gets to Brett Favre.
All right, now on a 3rd and 13. Favre this time, he's strip sacked by Israel Adonijah, fumbles, and Harris recovers here at the 40-yard line.
And look at that. I mean, that just is not protecting the ball.
I mean, he didn't knock the ball out.
No, that was just him kind of saying, okay, don't hit me too hard right now.
He was trying to step up. The ball came loose.
So early on, the Bears got a couple of field goals, no touchdowns, up 6-0. Jay Cutler on the rollout. That's when he was most effective when he was in Denver, pushing him out of the pocket.
Well, we see him sometimes doing that here, but the ball tends to land in other people's hands sometimes.
3rd and 9 now. It's Cutler to Aroma Shadu. 26 yards down to the 2. Great grab by Aroma Shadu. And on the very next play, 1st and goal from the 7. It's Cutler to Greg Olsen. So the Bears shocking Minnesota and Brett Favre 13-0. With 16-0 at the break. Favre threw for just 36 yards in the first half. Third quarter here. Vikings offense starting to heat up. Favre to Bernard Berrian, 38 yards down to the 22. And now 1st and 10. It's Favre looking for Sidney Rice. Charles Tillman with a mugging there.
Yeah, well, it was either that or a touchdown. So go ahead and take the penalty and just have to play a little defense from the 1-yard line.
So the Vikings are in business at the 1-yard line. And that led to this. 1st and goal, Adrian Peterson. So tough to stop down there.
I don't think Brett checked out of that play.
Well, guys, the extra point was blocked. The snap was bobbled, and Ryan Longwell's extra point was blocked at 16-6. Cutler on his back foot looking for Olsen, but Jasper Brinkley called for pass interference. It was a rough night for him in coverage.
Yeah, he was trying to get into the coverage, but he was too high on it and ended up grabbing Jersey.
All right, the Vikings think and run all the way. It's Cutler to Desmond Clark for the 2-yard touchdown, 23-6. And Brett Favre planning his comeback. So on the Vikings' next possession, it's Favre to Jim Klonsaucer for 21 yards down to the 48. 3rd and 4 now. Favre to Sidney Rice, a gain of 11 yards. And they got into kind of a hurry-up offense mode here, Steve.
And they found the soft underbelly of that zone defense. You see there's a lot of curl routes, a lot of intermediate routes there, 10 to 15 yards. Just pick them apart slowly. You don't have to hit them all at once.
All right, Favre and Sante Shenko there for the touchdown, 23-13. Cutler trying to force it, and this has been his biggest problem this year. He's picked off by Cedric Griffin, his league-leading 26th interception, and just a terrible decision.
Yeah, sometimes when you have the big arm, you make decisions that you shouldn't make, thinking you can fit it in.
So here come Favre and the Vikings. Visante Shenko for 17 yards. Great grab down to the 22.
He sees it. He communicates.
And we saw in that play, Charles Tillman looked like he broke a rib. He had to come out, so the Bears secondary was deflated even more.
Led to a Vikings field goal. Vikings get it back. Favre to Chester Taylor. 20 yards on a first down. 2nd and 3 now. Favre stays in the pocket. They pick up the blitz, dumps it off to Greg Lewis. 25 yards down to the 25. 1st and 10. Percy Harvin back from the migraines. Inside the 5, down to the 1. And once again, let's give it to that AP fella down at the 1-yard line. So the game is tied at 23. Keep in mind, Vikings were down 23-6. But their special teams were gashed.
This was all night long. All night long, giving up big yardage in the return game, which of course hurts your defense.
Daniel Manning, 59 yards to the 21. 2nd and 9 now. Cutler, great pass to Earl Bennett. 20 yards in the touchdown. 30-23. Cutler's 3rd touchdown pass of the night. Vikings trying to come back on a 3rd and 1. Adrian Peterson now.
Just climbing the steps over the wall.
Yeah, I don't have those kind of, I don't know who has those kind of hops.
AP picks up the first down, but now on a 1st and 10, it's Favre looking for Harvin. Almost picked off by Zachary Bowman, right in his hands, and he dropped it. So on the very next play, it's Favre. Dumps it off softly to Harvin, and Harvin cuts back 19 yards and a first down. 3rd and 8, buck 13 left on the clock, and it's Favre to Sidney Rice, 11 yards down to the 7. We've been there before, Steve.
And here we go again.
Favre looking for Harvin. It's incomplete. He can't make the catch. And so here we go. 4th and goal, 22 seconds left. It's been a rough week for that man right there, Vikings head coach Brad Childress. He and Favre trying to sort out their differences. 4th and goal, Favre, Rice, touchdown.
Same play, just to a taller receiver who can jump probably higher than any receiver in the NFL.
You notice where he put it up there for the receiver to have a chance to go get it. They call him Go-Go Gadget. Here's why. Watch the arms extend. Up, up, up.
How great of a year has he had?
The 269th passing yard for Brett Favre. In the second half, it's a career high for Favre in 1 half. All right, to overtime. First play now, and this is Jay Cutler looking for Devin Aromashodu, and what a game he had, 33 yards, way inside Minnesota territory. So here comes Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould has knocked on 3 field goals in this game, and usually a sound kicker from 45 yards away for the game winner. But Gould misses wide right. And so Favre, Childress, they've got another shot. Cutler, he can't believe it. All right, couple Vikings possessions later here. It's Brett Favre to Adrian Peterson, and this has been a problem for AP in 2009. He has had an issue holding on to the football.
It's like Hillenmeyer, too, reaching from behind.
Great job by Hillenmeyer, but it hadn't just been a problem in 2009, Fran. He had double-digit fumbles last season. Hard to believe, if you've ever shaken his hand, how he drops a football.
And the ball is clearly out before his knee touches the ball. His knee touches the ground. That's his 6th lost fumble of the season. It leads the National Football League for running backs. The next play, it's Cutler to Aromashodu for the game winner. So the Bears jump out to a big 16-0 lead, only to watch it vanish. The game headed to overtime, tied up at 30, and then Jay Cutler to Devin Aromashodu for the game-winning touchdown strike after Adrian Peterson coughed up the ball for the 6th time this year.
Okay, so who was the first team on the clock in the draft this year? Let's reveal, as the Lions had a chance at that first overall pick if they lost to the Bears.
They don't want it.
Man.
Kelvin Johnson. This guy's going to be a Pro Bowler at some point.
Dante Culpepper.
Culpepper.
Jay Cutler to Greg Olson in a tie game in the 4th quarter.
I got to give
and then Cutler
credit.
Yep. For what?
The last 2 weeks he's been balling.
Yeah.
He's been balling.
We found a Desmond Clark here as the Bears beat the Lions. The Bears finished 7-9. The Lions go 2-14.